one of our live finals, and we see BAUS on his SION. 100% win rate, by the way. This guy hasn't lost a game all year on this champion, not just this tournament. Nemesis is going to get his hands on the Ahri. Oh, Peng, that is a power pick for him.
All right. Just a little sneak peek for you guys. 36 KDA for Peng on this Taliyah, his best champion by far. And I feel like Pantheon Taliyah, one of the strongest mid-jungle duos that there are currently in the game. It's going to be brick wall versus brick wall over in the top side of the map. And I feel like when this usually happens, a lot of the pressure falls on the other side of the map. Who kills Cho'Gath? Who kills SION? We don't necessarily have a lot of champions that like to kill tanks, one of them being Kai'Sa in this particular meta, and the other one slowly creeping in are things like the Zeri.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to see what the final pickup is going to be. I'm assuming a jungler here for Velia. Just going pretty old and bold, locking in the Xin Zhao. Another good jungle mid synergy between those two champs as well. Really liking this one. I was before thinking that the Pantheon is potentially a flex pick. It mostly gets played in the jungle, but we occasionally have seen, like, I think it's like a couple of games where people have actually done this and then put it in the support role. As soon as that Taliyah got locked in, I was like, nah, that is not a flex pick. That is going in the jungle for Natty. Going to be the Peng on the Taliyah with that. Now looking at the next bans, the Nico getting removed, a very powerful support.
I love the ban that Nico right here, because Marlon was one of the very first supports that brought the Nico support into the NLC. And even though I talked to him yesterday, he was like, yeah, it wasn't my best performance. Still, Nico is so very strong because you can get that priority down bot lane, right? And you can play things like Kai'Sa with them. Another one that I want to look at is potentially things like the Renata as well, one of the enchanters that usually you pick versus more of melee-oriented champions. Seeing the Nautilus ban right here, I'm expecting an R4 Zeri potentially to come through from the side of Los Ratones. Really good at evading ganks. You do not have any point and click from the sort of RUDDY side, and there is a tank on the other side in the likes of Cho'Gath. You need that sort of hyper-scaling AD carry.
Okay, so now I'm looking at the comps and what the bans are looking like. What are the teams missing? Los Ratones, they've got a lot of skirmish, I can speak.
You got it there.
They've got some skirmish, they've got, you know, the big front line. They're lacking engage. So what is their options here? We've seen Reckless pick things up like the Rakan. There's been a big go-to for him. Gives you a bit of disengage, a bit of engage as well. The Varus is obviously going to give them that range that they're lacking right now, and Crownie has been very good on that one. I wonder if we're going to see like a Varus or a Leona locked in here for Reckless. On the other side, what are the answers? You still got things like the Misfortune up and available, which we know a lot of the players have been playing.
MF, Jhin, all really good. I feel like Jhin sets up really nicely as well. Really difficult to deal with the SION later on. You could argue, like, with this crit build, he does do a little bit more damage, but still only 4 bullets in the gun. They're not going to take down that SION really quickly. But again, it's really good into setting up what Pantheon and Taliyah can do. And at the end of the day, if Pantheon and Taliyah can slip into the backline and kill Crownie and the Varus, the SION will eventually at some point die too, right?
And I'm glad you talk about slipping into the backline, because I actually think Los Ratones struggle with that. Velia has to either get a very good flank, or you're not doing it. You've got to get through a Cho'Gath, you've got to get through the Unraveled Earth. There's so many tools to stop you from accessing Nata on the backline. And yeah, the Jhin, not the biggest tank killer, but he will annihilate Crownie. He'll annihilate Velia if he's given this opportunity. Ooh. And finally, some pretty solid engage here for the side of Ruddy Sack.
Is it going to be Rel versus Alistar? Alistar versus Rel? A tale as old as time when it comes to engage supports down the bot lane. I mean, to be fair right here, they could also look in something like the bot, right? And be just completely disruptive and actually like win the lane straight up and have the priority down bot lane. I think this is maybe what they might be deliberating right here. But Alistar makes so much sense. You also mentioned how they do not have a lot of engage, so you need to be able to pin down champions.
I like this now. You've got your non-committal engage through the Varus. You've got your hard commit through the Alistar. You've got your follow-up, the SION.
You've got a SION diving in.
You've got such a nice, well-rounded comp. On the other side, Ruddy, though, they have tools. That jungle mid is genuinely terrifying to me. Take it on, Ruddy! And these are explosive. These are bloodthirsty comps as well. I don't think we're going to have a 30-minute Snorefest. I think this is going to explode into action. Velia, Nemesis, Peng, Natty Nat. They're the 4 I want to keep my eyes on. There's a lot of early aggression that can come out from these guys.
Natty Nat scouting very early. See, this is usually a trick that a lot of people will do, right? You'll walk in, as we're seeing, BAUS on SION. Season 15, we have... Okay, we'll bring it back up for you. We'll bring that back for you guys. Okay. There you go.
Let's bring up that BAUS stats again. I want to see that graphic. because they are some impressive numbers on BAUS, on his SION.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people will tell you, you let BAUS play SION, you've just signed your death wish right here. Thank you so much, production. BAUS on SION Season 15, that's for the entire year, 7-0. KDA, we don't look at that. Gold at 15 plus 1.3, and huge damage share for his team on a tank. And you could argue, it's like, oh, DPM might be high on a tank because you just wet noodle fight consistently with a tank, but that's damage share.
Yeah, 24% is mad.
That's
I think the KDA matters there because it shows you his play style. It's really, really nice, but it's heading into lane already. Can see that Ruddy, with the fact that it's going to be the Jhin, the fact it's the Jhin and that Rail, they're going to have the lane advantage there off the back. So nice early shove for them off this. Natty will be pathing down as well, so we could see a potential early gank, especially if they get that pressure in the lane, pushes in towards them. But we'll keep our eyes on that. Velia will also be moving down as well, so the pairing will be potentially ganking at the same time down there.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of junglers will path towards the strongest lanes and the lanes that they have priority into, because it just allows you to walk into the river much more freely, get the skull crab, and even a lot of the times like in the force invade. Right here, as you can see, that's a triple lane prio from for Natinat rather. Gaith and Peng, Nata and Marlon are pushing in their respective lanes, so I feel like Natinat can actually go wherever he pleases right now. He can go towards the bot side, he can go towards the top side, but right here, because Velia is mirroring the clear, Natinat is clearly the favorite. Now, a lot of the time what teams will do, again, linking this back to the LPL, they'll go waves. They'll just go waves just so they can walk their jungler into the river. Small, very small, hopefully, game pause right here, and we'll resolve it really quickly, hopefully.
I hope so. I hope so. Hello,
Hi.
We're back. Getting bored of our faces, they are. I'm getting bored of our faces. I want to see some of the action.
You've been seeing your face for like 40 years, so.
Yeah, I've been kicking her out a while.
Yep.
Kicking about a while. Yeah, so obviously with jungles moving on bot side, we just saw Reckless actually take a ward out as well, which is going to be good for them, but they didn't actually get any wards down themselves. They were just clearing vision more than placing their own. So I don't know if we will see much. I think what I expect to see is probably Reckless rotate over and help with the crab, because I feel like both junglers clearing downwards. They're either going to just play that avoid each other for the first crab, or they're going to brawl for it.
I mean, Velia can also path towards the top side of the map. If you see it's too grim, his bot lane cannot drop a wave. Like, you can just... You spend a lot more time going to the top of the map, which gives Natinat the time to press his B button, reset, get back on the map. You've got the sword, you've got the extra HP, the ruby crystal.
But here we are.
Now here's my idea about how both these comps are going to interact, right? I feel like for Los RATONES, they have a pretty stellar front to back, where Nemesis can actually act on his own and try to find like his flanks or different angles, sort of pinch Ruddy side where Los RATONES want them. On the other side, I love how you mentioned that Pantheon is such a disruptor, because I believe the same for Xin Zhao. But since Roddysack do not care about any necessary formations, Jhin can play from super far away. You've got Lia and Pantheon creating chaos, and Natinat is looking for that bot lane.
Yeah, looks like he's just going to get a little bit of pressure off. There's no real gank at this point. You're not going to go for that tower dive.
Let's go for his crab.
Yeah, he's happy to go for his crab. And looking at where the pressure is, it's actually relatively even, because I think Peng hasn't got full control of mid right now. It's very even between the two. They do have shove bot side though, so Ruddy have the advantage there. That's going to force Velia towards the top side. He can go get his crab.
And look on the map right now. Reset button already coming through for Natinat. He's gonna get back. He's gonna grab his longsword. He's gonna grab his crystal, and he's gonna be stronger on the map, much faster than Velia is right now. Where is he looking to go though? Is he looking to potentially towards the top side? BAUS has been behaving so far. No shenanigans behind tier 1s or tier 2s.
None of that at all. As it does look like we are going to get a gank coming in. Velia found Gatham. He's got the free talent strike, and first blood going to Velia.
This is the challenges you run into.
Wait, hold on. Nah, they're all right.
Hey, it's fine.
Although Crowley's coming over just to make sure he's fine. Reckless going to get the reset off.
Oh,
wait, Marlon flashes in here. Nata jumps forwards. Reckless looks for the turnaround. Marlon's going to secure the kill, but Crowley turns it back around. Down goes Marlon. Teleport coming in as well. BAUS is here as Nata is trying to finish up Crowley. Crowley's able to flash away. Nata finding himself on the wrong side of history, dodging away on the arrow. Nata, he just has to run towards the jungle. BAUS, no ultimate available. Flashes ease into the queue, and Los RATONES will take their third of the game. lane.
Super quick reactions right there from BAUS. TP's down bot lane the second that 2 versus 2 happens, and Marlon trying to pull a Hylissang right there, trying to hold the wave for his AD carry. Reckless trying to make sure that doesn't happen. Gets caught in the crossfire. Marlon gets too far forward, and the 2 versus 3 becomes a 2 versus 2 becomes a 2 versus 3 with BAUS TPing down bot. But you see the instant rotation if you look on your minimaps. While Reckless was dead, he respawned, headed straight to top. When the shenanigans ended bot lane, Crowny resets, goes straight to top. So all in all, Los Ratones haven't lost much on the map.
Yeah, that was really, really nice for them. They get a plate. They honestly, it's a big wave that was dropped by Ruddy Zach as well off the back of that one. So Ruddy losing out pretty bad off the back of that one. It's led to a 10,500 gold lead already at 5 minutes.
I would say it's a 1.5. It's a 1.5, not
Sorry,
a 10.5, right?
Maths.
It would be insane. 10,500 gold lead at 5 minutes.
Who's the one who studied drums and who's the one that studied maths?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Drumming is maths, by the way, but I'm just going to pretend I don't know about that.
Okay, all right. So, Dragon's up. We do have BAUS. He has reset again over the top, but he does have ult. He's looking to play towards more the top side of the map. He's playing aggressive. Is he ulting in? I think he ulted in.
Oh, we're going to see some action top side. Knockup comes in. BAUS will go down, but he's got the zombie form. It's a 1-for-1 already, but he's just going to chase onto Nata. Nata, no! He survives! So close to going down.
However, that is now Nata super low on HP, can't walk up, cannot catch the wave. So even though it was a 1-for-1 trade overall top laner for support, which you would say that Ruddy are favored from that trade, the fact that Nata could not walk up and get that gold that was underneath the tower really does hurt Ruddy right here. Los Ratones literally so quick on the trigger. BAUS has been everywhere.
BAUS.
He TP'd bot, stayed bot, pushed the wave, went on to top, ulted down that lane as well. I was looking at him, he was standing behind them. He just ulted straight in as we're back into more action. This is flash taken from Peng.
Yeah, Peng losing his flash there. Pretty rough for him. We'll have a look at that fight again, but his ping on Talia, by the way. This guy absolutely cracked at the champion. 36 KDA, 80% kill participation, 100% win rate.
Also, excuse my French on this graphic. I did it, guys. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry for the graphics. It was me. Hey,
I think it looks really good.
If they work, they work.
Really good.
Okay, I have one graphic that I'm really proud of. We'll tell them later.
Yeah, we'll bring that one up later. Yeah. It looks like Los Ratones going to get themselves their first dragon. They've changed their playstyle because they were actually dropping dragons at the beginning of the split. But once we got to playoffs, these guys just started focusing the dragons down. They have incredibly high first dragon rates.
That is a very late dragon, considering how much later the Void Grubs are spawning, and the fact that teams are actually now, with only one spawn, you're willing to fight for them, right? You need the 2 out of 3 to get the +1 stack onto feats of strength.
Yeah.
Very, very important. However, if you look on the map, we already have Ruddy on the tops of the map. They're trying to regain control over down in the river. They're pushing that top lane where BAUS is. And as you see, Nat over in the river, he's going to start the Void Grubs himself.
I think a lot of it also just kind of boils down to all the action that went bot lane with BAUS TPing and stuff. That changes it all. But Peng, he's been caught by a charm here. In jumps Velia! And Velia secures his kill. Nat comes in, finds the stun onto Velia, but don't really think there's much place for him to go. Caught by the knockup. Natty fighting off way too much there. That's 2 kills for Los Ratones.
What a fantastic turnaround. Reckless ganked literally a minute and a half ago, taking the flash off of Peng. So the second he tries to make his way inside this river to try and contest those Void Grubs, they instantly shut him down. Los Ratones are just 1 step ahead in this game 1 of the series.
Map domination from Los Ratones. Not even 10 minutes. They've got the dragons, they've got the kills, they've got everything they need. They are 1 objective off getting that feat of strength. Which gives you a nice little upgrade. It's not the biggest.
9 minutes in.
9 minutes in. That is exceptionally early for feat of strength. They're normally 15 minutes-ish, roughly. Really, really impressive from them. Marlon gonna spot Reckless here, but I don't think there's really much coming of it. Just gonna go for a bit of supportal combat between the 2 of them. Crowd control galore. Does look like Nat's coming over though. Reckless may have bitten off a little bit too much here. Does have his ultimate, does have his flash. The curtain has actually been called. Reckless might find himself just going down here. Is he going to escape the 4th shot? No! Nata finishes him up.
Nice punish right there from Ruddy, getting 1 for themselves. And as you can see, setting up that very deep vision as well. Let's see if they're going to be able to actually punish Velia, who's now coming out of base. Sundered Sky completed. First items fully completed for the trio in the middle that we see Nemesis, Velia, Crowny, all 3 of them with the first items completed. And I feel like without the priority, without the extra item in the pocket of Natina, this is very difficult to punish right now. You're looking for your first item to be completed, particularly on Pantheon, if you want to fist fight right here.
Yeah.
So Los Ratones are feeling just a little bit more safe to get inside their jungle and clear it out for themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pretty big pretty substantial lead between items between Los Ratones and Ruddy right now. I mean, like you said, not a single item finished up, and BAUS is closing in on his next item, which I assume is going to be a Hollow Radiance, just for a bit more wave clear. Got that cull as well, stacking that one up. Very classic BAUS. Hiding behind Nemesis, out of Fog of War. I'm really glad we toggled the Fog of War there. Peng doesn't know BAUS was there. The opportunity didn't arise, but it's just these little plays we've been seeing from BAUS recently where he just hangs back on that Sion, jumps in with the ult, gets that kill for his team. Really, really heads up play, and, you know, a less selfish BAUS from what we saw at the beginning of the split.
I remember BAUS got a rookie MVP of the split over in Winter, and that was for a reason. I feel like it's not just about his Sion, it's about the map awareness that he does, the whole like INTA vibe that everyone says, like he uses it to such great extent. And right here, Los Ratones, they're looking for that bot lane dive. It's only Marlon and Nata. There is TP on Peng, but can he make it there in time?
Well, the TP started up, Marlon's missed Q, teleport's joining in, and Peng's gonna make his way over. Los Ratones force the teleport out, and they don't overcommit. This is really nice from them. Able to just bait out an ability, forcing Peng to throw the ultimate out as well. I don't know what he was intending to do off the back of that one, but he is just going to back off, and then going to see everybody else potentially actually look for another dive. They do get massive damage off. Oh, Reckless gets stunned up by the Unraveled Earth as he jumps forwards. He's just going to call it off the back of that.
But still, that's a lot of map control happening on the bottom side of the map for Los Ratones, as Nata was sent over in the mid lane for a little bit of wave clear duty versus Nemesis, pushing those waves back and forth. But look at the vision. I want you guys to have a look at the minimap right there. Look at the vision. It's defensive. It's also offensive over in the tri-bush. It's around the dragon. Second dragon spawning about 30 seconds. And right here, Los Ratones, they're grouping up as 3 over in the mid lane. And they're going to have to try and gain some more vision from what they have over on the bot side for the potential dragon fight.
Yeah, the big things to watch are the summoners right now. Cranny will not have his flash. He will have his cleanse by the time the dragon comes up, so at least has something. But they're going to immediately jump him cleanseless. Down he goes. Shut down for Nata. Crowley has fallen. And that could just be dragon here for Los Ratones.
These were the plays that were happening versus Nord, right? They were overextending, they were getting caught one by one. Ruddy's like being able to grab that dragon right here. It's huge. You stop the stacking, and most importantly, you stop for the time being feats of strength going over to Los Ratones.
Slows them down massively. Dragon number 2 in the pocket here of the Ruddy sack, and gold slowly but surely kind of stabilizing. It's still in the lead of Los Ratones. They still got those item advantages, but with that shutdown going to Nata, this reset will probably result in his collector being finished up and potentially a little bit more of his other items. We'll have to see if how close he is towards his next item. He's been in lane for a while. He's got 3 kills.
First item should be coming through for both top lane and bot. I think BAUS cancelled Gaithen up on the top set. And he's doing classic BAUS things, proxying between tier 1 and tier 2. And that is so clever right here. Gaithen stuck underneath his tower. No mana, hasn't completed his first item. So he's completely abusing the fact that Gaithen would be not as useful as BAUS in a fight to be. And look at him, he's wrapping around that mid lane as well. He's looking towards the carries. Peng no mana.
He's just used the Unraveled Earth as well. In they jump the Spirit Rush. Gonna charge forward. Nemesis actually gets caught back, and this could be a big turnaround here. Nemesis able to jump away to safety. Meanwhile, BAUS being hunted by Marlon and Nata. Blast cones over the wall to get to safety, but Marlon's gonna keep the chase up. They back off. BAUS gets away scot-free. Meanwhile, Peng falls.
Another successful... I don't know if you guys can hear you, but the arena is roaring every time BAUS is on the screen. As Los Ratones will claim the first tower, which will also give them the feats of strength.
Nice little upgrade there. Everyone has boots too, apart from Velia as well, so everyone's going to get a little benefit from the back of that one. Crowny now moved over towards the mid lane, just going to be holding the line across here. As we are actually seeing that the Rift Herald, I forgot the name of the objective there, spawning up in the next 16 seconds. So that's where we'll see our next shift of attention, because cracking the mid lane really opens the map up for everyone. So both teams are going to want to get their hands on that, especially when it's an Ahri, it's a Talia in the mid lane. They're just going to be constantly clearing waves.
I feel like Los RATONES have reached the point where they've evaded the whole Talia Pantheon shenanigans.
Yeah.
BAUS has got his first item, working on his second, he's got extra armor, which is, I'm surprised there's extra armor in his inventory at this point. Like, I'm seeing the tunneler, but armor? You've changed, clearly. But it is what it is, you know, it's all for the better. Onto the SION specifically, but I feel like they have really evaded the bridging that we talked about of the Talia Pantheon and the early game aggression.
I mean, I wanted to play-by-play that, but it's a SION and a Joker.
I will let you next time.
No one's going down.
You know what, let's do it.
No one's going down
Make
there.
the noodle fight as intense as possible.
Yeah, just take it to a 10
yeah,
immediately.
Take it to 10, yeah.
Like World's Finals pentakill, just for Tanks 2 fighting. As we are seeing Nata, though, getting a little bit of a chunk taken out of him. Hits the Deadly Flourish onto Reckless. Reckless is just going to shrug it off. He's not going to be under too much threat. The Collector, it's a nice first item, but you don't really get that much raw power out of it. It's a good step towards the Jhin power spike, right? So right now, Nata, 3-1. Getting towards his Infinity Edge, so he is taking steps towards getting stronger, but right now really needs that IE to come online before he hits a major spike, as Reckless trying to do some warding with this Rift Herald now up and available. Heng trying to dissuade it, but they don't really have the map pressure or the people to stop this. So Los RATONES should just be picking up this Herald for free, and there's not really much that we're going to see from RUDDY do in response. They can't push any waves or any towers, really.
A little bit late on the rotation out there from RUDDY, particularly because they didn't have the waves pushed, right? They had so much vision inside this river, but they were actually like pulled out from Los RATONES. Now they're pulling TPs. The wave is down from Talia. Let's see if they can make it work. Pantheon ult.
Marlon coming in. They're going to throw that Pantheon ult down, but Nemesis goes for the charm, collects it on to Gaithan, and Gaithan will fall. Crownie secures the kill. Nemesis looking to finish up Nata. Nata hit by the charm, goes for the cleanse, but everybody else is falling apart on the other side. Crownie taking a double kill as Peng's able to escape, but 4 down.
Los RATONES don't need to break the formation. They don't need to jump to the back line because they're so strong as is. They just go through it. Gaithan literally melted from that charm from Nemesis, and the Nemesis found his way onto Nata as well. The positioning was not on point right there from RUDDY. And even though we said they don't necessarily need a formation, they're kind of all of them, they're like disruptors, and Jhin sets up for them. If you get found on the wrong side of the map, you will be taken down. Let's spot this one more time. Nata right here has to flash off the get-go from Nemesis diving in. So that's a flashless Jhin on a very, very dangerous run. He thinks he's safe, but he's got his Cho'Gath in front of him. But Cho'Gath no more. He absolutely evaporates.
Gets absolutely cut through. Nemesis gets that second charm off. Nemesis did not miss a charm that fight as well. Flashing him with the oil
Faker
perception.
could never.
So clean from him. Gets that shove in, and Herald was secured as well. It's in the pocket of Velia. Mid tower fell. They didn't use the Herald, which is really nice, because now you can use the Herald for one of those tier 2 towers, which is worth 700 gold. Like, it's a lot of gold. It speeds up towards your next item spot, really, off the back of that one. But right now, Velia not interested in getting those towers. Instead, wants to start the Dragon stack for his team. Dragon number 2 obviously went over to Ruddy, but Los RATONES will be able to pick up this mountain as their second. And it's going to be hard to blow up Los RATONES members if they start stacking these mountain drakes.
Yeah, talking about mountains, I'm getting a little bit worried. Talia's not a tankular, Panther's not a tankular, Jhin is definitely not a tankular. As people would like to argue that, I feel like it takes way too long for a Jhin plus Talia to kill a silent. By the time you've done this, have you dealt with the rest of the members, right, of Los RATONES? So it comes to a point where I'm actually getting really, really worried. It's a 7,000 gold lead for Los RATONES right here. Second item complete. It's going to be Hydra for BAUS, and we're going to have a second item very, very soon for Velia as well, as soon as he resets. You've got the Ghost Blade and the Mana Moon coming through for Crownie. This is a poke virus, so once you're first in an objective, it's so hard for RUDDY members to make it through, right, with all the pokes. So I'm just getting a little bit worried that if RUDDY don't play, maybe to try and feed a few more kills into Talia, into the Pantheon, this game might just fall a bit too short.
I mean, we're 20 minutes in. There's a 7,000 gold lead. No towers have fallen.
I'm looking at the glass half full.
Yeah, you're being optimistic here. Ruddy, the optimistic take is, with all these towers still standing, there's a lot of kind of just world gold. I can't remember what the actual term for that is. It's been ages since I called that, but, you know, locked gold, that's the one.
Standing gold.
Standing gold, thank you. There we go. There's lots of standing gold on the map
Aren't
for
you English?
Ruddy to take. It is standing gold, you are correct. I was so wrong that it got in your head. That's what happened there. But yeah, there's a lot of standing gold here for Ruddy, but they need to get some kills to actually translate that into. The map pressure just is not working for them right now. They're really struggling to kind of do anything in response. Like Ruddy, Los Ratones make a move, and then Ruddy seems to struggle to find a return move in response to that one. So BAUS got a nice little shove here on the top side, and the bot side, sorry. Skathan just doing his best to hold here on the Cho'Gath, and Los Ratones setting up here to jump in on to Natty, caught by the Chains of Corruption, and with the arrow coming through, Natty will fall. Velia secures the kill.
I mean, they're just brute forcing fights at this point, right? 8,000 gold in the lead. You see champion,
BAUS!
you jump champion!
Nata goes down! BAUS finds the kill! Huge O into the backline, flashes to the safety of his team, and he's into Herald! Drives it into the tower, secures the kill, as Velia gonna be going around. I think he's going for that top lane tower. He's just gonna run over a whole bunch of people on the way in. Smashes into the tower. Tower number 2 in the top side will fall as well. Los Ratones, that gold lead just grew to 10K.
RUDDY are trying to put out way too many fires, and Los Ratones are like this little girl in front of the burning house. You know the meme?
Yes.
We're just looking at it burn and doing nothing. This has been a very LR-dominated game, start to finish. They've not let go of the pedal, and of course, why would you, right? When you're ahead so much, you start brute-forcing fights. Hydra also completed for Velia right here. Actually, a crowd favorite to have that Hydra. You get that knockup much faster, especially since you can reset your auto-attack, right? So, there you go. A lot more power coming into the hands of the Zinza right here. 2 items onto Nemesis Arya as well, who we haven't necessarily seen much. He has been kind of like a quiet force. But
yeah.
The flashes he's been forcing, the positioning he's been forcing into these fights has been incredible. And I think RUDDY, maybe it's time for the drawing board. I don't say it usually that early into a game, 21 minutes, but it's 21 minutes and a 10,000 gold lead brewing, so...
They have 1 tower outside of their base standing at 21 minutes. Like, Los Ratones have been a very accelerated team. They do play fast games, and Ruddy definitely came into this one. They got some comfort picks as well. I mean, paying on his Talia, that big KDA now ruined with those 2 deaths on him. Definitely struggling off the back of this one as Los Ratones came in, guns blazing and ready to fire. They're going to secure themselves the Arakan here off the back of that. And there's not really any answer coming in, although BAUS potentially is going to get chased off here by Gaithan. They've sent 3 down, so the answer, and this is what we talked about at the beginning of the day, BAUS will pull people to his side of the map, and then Los Ratones will take something on the other side.
But here's the problem, right? When Los Ratones are grouped up on the top side of the map as 3, there is no way you can actually break that pack apart, right? The only one you can pretty much attack is the guy who's isolated on the side lane, but the guy who's isolated on the side lane has too much HP currently on him, way too many defenses. I think we've seen BAUS even take one with him every single time there's a 1v3 happening, and I feel like he has kind of been the unsung hero. The early TP down to the bot side of the map, then the reset straight to the top, gets level 6, ults down the lane, gets those kills, defends his bot lane.
Yeah.
Like, he has been absolutely stellar this game.
No, he's been really, really impressive. And to me, right now, this is, I want to see Los Ratones close this one out nice and calm, but the Avengers have been sent for BAUS. Goes for the Deadly Flourish, and he just ults out! BAUS will not go down today!
That was a power move. That was a 1 centimeter ult.
That was,
it's like,
honestly,
I can leave if I want to, but I choose not to.
He moonwalked away and then continues to shove. Now, the big thing is yes, they did jump on BAUS there. Los Ratones haven't really got any pressure in the other lanes to be able to do anything off it, though.
I just don't see the guts in RUDDY.
No.
This is what we talked about, like the Pantheon, the Talia, playing aggressive, playing crazy through that early game. Putting LR in a position where they have to answer really quickly on the map, which they have been relatively really good at most of their games.
Oh,
but
BAUS.
just confuse them. You don't have the ult now.
Hit by the Deadly Flourish, put into the bounce house. Reckless is making his way in. Somehow, BAUS is alive. Marlon's coming over. Peng, good wall to break up the members of Los Ratones as BAUS continues to stay alive. He's finding a knockup. Marlon has fallen. BAUS is immortal. Charm onto Gaithan. Los Ratones take it all.
And the T1 tempo TP over on the top side, which will then force Peng's TP as an answer. Los Ratones, another dominating fight, a 13,000 gold lead for the Rats. And LR are looking for the bot lane tier 2 remaining, the last outer defense for RUDDY.
I think Ruddy are a little bit scrambled after this game 1. It is going to be all about finding a solution for game 2. How did BAUS survive
That is a level 15 Scion, and there is no one who can even match the level of that Scion on the map. Reckless arrives. Look at the backstep right here from Nemesis and Crowny. Beautiful on the Talia W from Peng. And once the wall is down, everyone runs in.
Absolutely.
It's like a blink.
It was just flawlessly executed from Los Ratones there. Everyone played that as well as they could. Secured all of that. Medjai's Soul Stealer on Nemesis as well. Let him book.
I mean, come on, man. Like 14K up now, the Medjai's?
I mean, yeah, get it earlier, bro.
Right?
I mean, everyone has upgraded their boots apart from Reckless as well. Like, everyone's got their feet boots.
I feel like it's because he just completed his item, right?
Yeah,
so he doesn't have the gold to upgrade that. Getting that item, getting the Knight's Vow is so much more important as Ruddy are taking punches on that Scion as well, and Marlon's going to pay for it.
Marlon goes down. Nice pick up there from Crowny. Don't think they're actually going to look for anything else. They may just ping back towards that Baron. This is nice, because one of our criticisms we had of Los Ratones, and anyone who's watched their scrims, is they do overreach sometimes. They do overchase for kills. This time they go, we get our kill, we're happy, let's pull it back and turn it around. BAUS, he doesn't give a damn, forces the flash out from Nata.
Nowhere is safe.
Wait, are they? Pantheon just ulted into the...
They know,
Natty,
they know for sure.
Natty, this is your moment, be a hero. He's been seen. The charm from Nemesis comes in. Natty is chunked, and down he goes. Nemesis secures the kill. No Baron still on the cards. Los Ratones gonna take it all.
And 14 stacks on that Medjai's. Can he make it 20 plus by the time this game ends? We'll have to wait and see. But this is a 16,000 gold lead. You know how it's been a running meme, the 20K gold lead on Casual stream. This could be the game. They're 4,000 short. Let me tell you what, Nexus gives 50.
It does give 50.
It does give 50.
Not 50K, just 50.
Just 50.
Just 50.
Oh, Peng. Oh, Peng, look who's behind you. Oh, actually, don't look.
He's going to go for the wall. What an interrupt! Crowny secures the kill from downtown. That's why you don't give him Scion.
LR pushing 3 lanes at once. Velia's gonna take that mid lane wave. Nemesis on the top, and the rest 3 over on the bot side. Ruddy are gonna have to make some decisions right here. Obviously the waves are a little bit too far away over on the bot side as the mid lane is about to crash on the tower. BAUS is gonna try to escort that wave over on the bot side of the map, and I think it's as clean as...
I think this is almost as
As it can get.
a single dragon and 4 kills. This is a near perfect game from Los Ratones. Really, really clean stuff from them. They are just going to get a little bit of poke onto Velia, but he's too tanky, man. Like, they don't have the damage right now. Infinity Edge was only just finished up onto Nata. Nemesis getting jumped onto Marlon does force the Spirit Rush out, but it's low cooldown. He's going to be able to jump away.
They're gonna
as
wrap
Reckless
around.
jumps in, they're going to go for that wraparound. The charm goes a little bit wide, but that is going to be Natty Nat falling down. Peng being absolutely obliterated. Crowny caught by the knockup, goes for the cleanse out though, as we see a couple of extra kills coming in. BAUS flashes in to Nata's face to try and find him, evading the ruptures. Peng will fall, Nata will fall. Reckless finds the damage onto the Cho'Gath. Here's the knockup. Gaethan is on the steps of his fountain, but he can't escape. It's the ace over to the side of Los Ratones. They open strong.
What an absolutely dominating game 1 from LR. All the worry when they fell down.